Now at this time, I'd like to welcome up to the stage the mayor of the city of Anderson, Mayor Thomas Broderick, Jr.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I was a couple minutes late. We were meeting and organizing for the Mayor's Cup, which is also part of the festival that we have here in May. And I guess it's a good thing in the community when you have so many things going on. You have to be in 2 or 3 places at the same time. So I'm proud to be here. This is always really a very exciting event. Just the press conference itself, it sort of kicks off what we all think of as the month of May here locally. Around the state of Indiana. Of course, racing is no stranger to Indiana, and it certainly isn't any stranger to the city of Anderson, thanks to the Anderson Speedway. It's the 75th year. Can you believe that? I mean, Rick doesn't look nearly that old, does he? I don't know how he does it. No, as you all know, Joe Helpling started the track, built it back in 1948. And I was reading just recently that he had a lot of friends come together to help him do that, and he paid them 25 cents an hour. And my understanding is Rick pays better than that, so that's a good thing too. Every year I get the opportunity to go down to the Big 500 for a mayor's breakfast, where we have the festival queens are there, and we all get to get up one at a time and introduce our city to the crowd. And I always mention Anderson Speedway as a major part and component of the city of Anderson. It is iconic, and I can't be more prouder than Rick and his team and what they do and what they've done over the years. As you know, it's one of the fastest quarter-mile ovals in the United States. A few years ago, we had the fastest lap that stood up for a period of time, and we're just like a third of a second away now from the fastest quarter-mile lap in the history of sprint car racing. So it says so much about this track, its maintenance, and all the hard work and effort that goes into it by all of the folks with Rick again and his team. And I just want to congratulate them on behalf of the city of Anderson, welcome all of you here, and remind you, if you haven't, most of you have been, but if you have not ever seen the Little 500, definitely get tickets this year and go out. I know it's going to be a great event. And if you've not seen the start of the Little 500, you haven't seen anything. It is amazing to see 33 powerful cars on a quarter-mile track. So again, congratulations, Rick and team, and thank you all for being here today.
Now at this time, I'd like to welcome to the stage board member for the Madison County Chamber of Commerce, Jennifer Hall.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. I'd like to thank the mayor for his support of the Speedway and the Chamber of Commerce and the organization that I represent, the Flagship Enterprise Center and Bankable here in Anderson and Madison County. I'm before you this morning as a board member of the Madison County Chamber of Commerce, where we strive to connect and grow and help the small business community innovate. And there is no greater example of a leader in the small business community than the Anderson Speedway and Rick Dawson as their leadership. You think about 75 years. Harry Truman was president 75 years ago. That's a long time. And really only a small percentage of businesses even make it to 25 years. So this is a remarkable accomplishment for the Speedway. What the Anderson Speedway brings to the small business community in Anderson is phenomenal. The spectators who are coming into our community, the impact that they're having on our restaurants, on our accommodations, on local businesses is just tremendous. And so we want to thank the Anderson Speedway for their impact. We want to thank Rick Dawson on behalf of the Madison County Chamber. He is also a board member of the Chamber. I know him personally. He's a tremendous leader in our community. And so we thank Rick for his impact here and how he is engaged in our community. We just want to celebrate the icon that is the Anderson Speedway and congratulate them on 75 years. And I don't know about you, but I am excited to be at the track this year, and we'll see you at the race. Thank you so much.
Please join me at this time in welcoming to the stage co-chairperson Carrie Sisk.
Good morning. I will echo what the mayor and Jennifer had said. Thank you all for being here. This is a very exciting time. Again, the month of May, you think of racing, and what's really special is that we get to think of racing here in Anderson, not just in Speedway. So I am Carrie Sisk, and the organization that I represent is the Madison County Community Foundation. I also am the co-chair of the Little 500 Festival Committee. This is my 4th year to serve in that role, and it's been a great experience for me. And in my real job, my real hat, I work closely with a lot of nonprofit organizations, and that marries really well with what the Little 500 Festival does. So it's been an honor to be able to do that and work with those nonprofits to serve Madison County and the city of Anderson. And also, as a member of this committee, I am the chair of the Queen Contest. So today we have our 2 representatives, and we will be officially crowning them here in just a few minutes. So for the Queen Contest, you must be a female residing here in Madison County, ages 17 to 21, and serve a variety of ways. We love to see the Queen and Princess have some kind of relationship or history with the Little 500 race itself. That's not a requirement, but it's really special when we can kind of talk through those memories. Like they said, there is nothing like that first turn of that first lap. So we are excited to share that also the Queen and the Princess receive scholarships. Those are administered through the Madison County Community Foundation, so also a nice marriage into my real job. So let me tell you a little bit about our Princess today. Our Princess will receive a $1,000 scholarship through the Little 500 Festival Fund. Emma Holmes is a junior at LaPel High School. She plans to study nursing in hopes of becoming a NICU nurse. She's a graduate of Leadership Academy. She's a member of the National Honor Society, Spanish Club, Council, and the Debate Club. She's a varsity cheerleader and volunteers at church and nursing homes, as well as cheer clinics at her school. She enjoys watching sports and listening to true crime podcasts. Who doesn't? While Emma has not attended the Little 500 race, she's excited to represent the festival and enjoy her new race. Let's welcome Emma to the stage. So joining Emma will obviously be our queen, but I also want to share that the events that happen throughout the month of May, the Queen and Princess serve as the face of the festival. So they try to get to all the events, whether they can just pop in or actually participate in the mayor's race. The Sertoma Club is great about having them actually in the race. I kind of told them that that might be something that would be in their future, putting on a fire suit and a helmet, and they kind of got excited about that. So we're excited that they get to do that, and we're really thankful for LaPel and Frankton High Schools, who, and all of the county schools, when we have representatives from their schools, they really embrace this role for the Queen and Princess and let them out of class. And I do believe that Frankton High School might be watching live on Facebook today. So that's really special as well. That might be a first for us. So now let me introduce you to our queen. Adana Key is a senior at Frankton High School. She will attend IU East, where she'll major in business with a minor in sports management, and she'll continue her volleyball career. When you see her stand up, you'll understand why she plays volleyball. She is a member of the National Honor Society, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Best Buddies, and Students Against Destructive Decisions. She's an avid volleyball player, which has earned her the Herald Bulletin's Elite 11 Award and Academic All-State. Her volunteer work includes the Madison County Humane Society, as well as helping with the volleyball camps. She has attended the Little 500 for the past 5 years with her dad and said it's a time she will cherish forever. We hope you will make many more memories to cherish forever as our queen. Adana? while we won't make them speak this morning, if you do, and when you do see them at the events in the month of May, please stop and and say hi and let them know that we're appreciative of their time and love to see that they're representing the festival and the city of Anderson as well as all of Madison County. So thank you.
Join me in welcoming at this time co-chairperson for the 36th Annual Little 500 Festival, Patty Lovins.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you guys today. This is the 36th Annual Little 500 Festival. I wasn't born during when it first started, so that's a joke. I was born. Okay, guys, I was born. So let me tell you, we have a lot going on this year. We're so excited for the nonprofits that are going to be able to take advantage of the advertisement and the promotions that they get during the Little 500 Festival. Starting out, y'all have a copy of this on your chairs there. Make sure you take that with you. Support these nonprofits as they do good deeds for Anderson, Madison County. First up is Saturday and Sunday, May 13th and 14th at Anderson's Sertoma Club, 28th Annual Mayor's Cup Grand Prix. Wednesday, May 17th, Madison County Chamber of Commerce Power Up with the Chamber, 8 a.m. Thursday, May 18th, Operation Love Ministries Bonus Pantry, Choice Food Pantry. Thursday, May 18th, Payless Supermarket's 15th Annual Golf Tournament. Saturday, May 20th, Madison County Historical Society Hot Rod and Classic Car Show. Saturday, May 20th, also First Choice for Women Annual Walk for Life. Also on Saturday, May 20th, Anderson Noon Lions Club Chickens for Charity. Thursday, May 25th, Community Hospital Senior Day at the Track. That's a great event. I know they couldn't do that during COVID, so that's coming back and super excited about that for them. Thursday, May 25th, Anderson Speedway CB Fabricating Pole Day. Friday, May 26th, Anderson Speedway Bump Day. That's a free event, so make sure you take your family and friends out for that event. Saturday, May 27th, Anderson Speedway 34th Annual Little 500 Hall of Fame Luncheon. Saturday, May 27th, Anderson Speedway 75th Annual Lucas Oil Little 500 presented by UAW. So make sure you guys, you attend these events, take your family and friends. If you need extra flyers or anything, or anything, let us know. We want to make sure we get the word out about what the great things that are happening in Madison County and Anderson. Thank you.
Now at this time, let's welcome to the stage a man that has done so much for the Lucas Oil Little 500 presented by UAW. This race has just grown and grown under his leadership. Welcome to the stage, Rick Dawson, the owner of Anderson Speedway.
Thank you, Corey. I'm not sure who this Rick Dawson guy is, the mayor, Jennifer, and you were talking about somebody different. I'm pretty sure if you asked my wife, she wouldn't know who you were talking about. But anyway, welcome to the Little 500 Festival and Race Press Conference. I was here like the second year we were on the track for the 50th. I didn't even think about the 75th, but I've been very fortunate to be able to be a part of both of these historic milestones for this great race. When Joe Helping built the racetrack, he was kind of an eccentric. I didn't know Joe, but I was told he liked to do things that were unconventional, and he came up with the idea of running a 500-mile race at Anderson Speedway the night before the Indianapolis 500. He and Tony Holman, I later found out, were good friends, and so he came up with this idea. And I don't know, Mayor, you might have been in the meeting, but I've been told that they told him that it couldn't be done, and that was just more incentive for Joe to go out, and he put on a 500-lap race. I believe it was with roadsters back in 1949, but it was very successful, and 75 years later, we're still doing it out there. We're going to try it again on May 27th. This year, the 75th anniversary, of course, is special. Every race is special. Eric will tell you he had 9 very special races. But this year, being the 75th, we have 23 living former winners of that race. And right now we have commitments for 13 of them to be at the track on race day, and hopefully a few more. So you really want to be a part of history. Come out that day. We got our big autograph session. all these drivers will be out there, and they'll be glad to see you. Ticket sales right now are going very robust. It's been nearly a sellout the last several years, and I don't anticipate anything less this year. So if you got your favorite seat, probably better be getting them. Give Jessica a call and get out there. Well, we've got several legends in this room today, and we're very blessed to have them with us today. Especially Danny Ernst, who you with the United Auto Workers have been a big partner with this race for years. You're going to hear more about him, and he's got a very special lady with him today, Taylor McLean, whom I'm sure you all hear on the radio very frequently, but it's a tremendous cause, and you'll be hearing from them. But we've got 3 race drivers here today, so if you got some time after the meeting, I'm sure they'll all tell you what it's about to be able to race in this race. But right now, it gives me a privilege. When you talk about the Little 500, you can't not talk about the history of the Little 500 without this man's name coming up. It's right now unheard of. All records are set to be broken, but this one it's gonna take a while to do. But I want to introduce you right now and bring up to the podium a great race car driver, a great person, and a fun person to be around, 9-time Little 500 winner, Eric Gordon.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
You didn't have to lie so much.
I did.
Really quick, I just want to say that the amount of community participation in this event is unbelievable. I've been all over the country. I've been fortunate enough to race in other countries. And the way the community embraces this event is just unparalleled. And I think everybody in this town should be very happy with the community involvement, should be very proud of the race. And I've been lucky enough to be involved with great people that run this event, and I've been fortunate enough to be involved with great teams that have won this event. So make sure that you spread the word, and let's have a sellout for the 75th anniversary. And this is a very unique event, and we should all be very proud and celebrate it.
Thank you, Eric. I'm going to ask you to step around the side. We're going to do something a little different this year. Underneath here is the cover for this year's 75th annual Little 500 program, and I'm going to ask Eric, I'm going to hold the thing because they said my phone. I'm going to ask Eric to unveil it. Truly a work of art, and can I recognize that car up there, Eric? Number 2 went around that track a lot of times. Thank you, Eric. Eric touched on something when I bought, actually RJ and I, well, I guess I bought it. When I bought the racetrack, RJ was there. Back in 1996, the one thing that I wanted to do, number 1 priority, at that time my daughter Lauren was 6 years old, and I wanted to make Anderson Speedway a place where she could come and I'd feel safe having her there and to have a good time. We accomplished that, but I learned very early on that in addition to that, the community was very important to Anderson Speedway for its success in the future. And I'm very proud to be able to use the Speedway to contribute back to the community, to help make it more vibrant and help keep our community going and give it a potential for the future of Anderson, Indiana. And I think we've done it, and not only just Anderson, Indiana, but Madison County in general. Here's another phenom. I'm using big words here. I don't know what they're. But he's a daggone good racer. If anybody follows racing, this gentleman won the race in 2021 and is the reigning winner of last year's race. At this time, I'd like to introduce the 2021-22 Lucas Oil Little 500 presented by UAW winner Tyler Roy.
Thanks, Rick. just kind of like Eric said, it's awesome to see so much community involvement. Tin Plates here, CB Fabricating, of course, they're a huge help to me. UAW, it's nice to see small businesses helping helping the community, helping the racetrack.
Thank you, Tyler. All the way from Plymouth, Indiana. I also want to say I was here for the first festival, and when Dixie started this festival, of course, the race was kind of faltering a little bit, but when the Contos family jumped in with Larry, and Dixie came up with this idea of having a festival and somehow making us give back to the community. And I told Dixie one of the last times I seen her at the racetrack, I said, as long as I got something to do with this racetrack, we're going to have a little 500 festival. And I think I want to tell Patty and Carrie that I know Dixie would be very proud of you for what you've done with the festival and all the money that we're raising for charity, because I know that was her #1 priority. I mentioned earlier a gentleman that has been a great partner, and I just can't say enough about this man. If he wants something done, he gets it done. The United Auto Workers have been a big part of the history of this community and still is to this day. And I learned a lot about the United Auto Workers through Denny and the kind of people that they got in their organization and how they want to help people and how they've helped the Speedway. And this year especially, you've always had a charity that's benefited from your little 500 partnership, but this year I think it's even extra special this year. And so I want to introduce to you a very special man and friend, Danny Ernst.
Good morning. We had bet she was going to start crying here. You haven't cried yet, so. Good morning, Anderson. Good morning, everybody. My name is Danny Ernst with United Auto Workers, and this is our 9th year as a presenting sponsor of this race. 75 years. You know what? It's staying power. It is the second to the Indy 500. This is the race to be at. Anderson, Indiana is the place to be. So we've enjoyed every of the last 9 years being a part of it, and I want to say a special thank you to Rick Dawson, his family, the staff, Anderson Speedway. They've given us a platform to show who we are as an organization. It's who we are. And so we've used this platform to showcase what we build, our charities, to give back to the community to do that. So the last 9 years, we've built around our charities in there, but we've always used a pace truck, a truck that's built in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and a donation by Sam Pierce Chevrolet. About every March or April, I call Sam without hesitation, and especially in the last few years as trucks have been tight, that's money that's not going in his pocket. And this year, I was like, Sam, we got to have a truck, got to have it early. And you know what? The truck sat there. But this year, the truck took on a special meaning for us. So I'm going to put a number in front of you, and I'll get back to it, 100,000. Keep that in your mind. So on your thing is the truck. You take a look at it. We were hoping to have it here today, but as in life, it's sitting in the shop being wrapped, but it will be out, I promise you. The truck was supplied by Sam Pierce Chevrolet. The wrap was supplied by Travel Wraps, Graphic, IBO Wraps, and the truck was assembled by UAW Local 209 members in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So it's built in Indiana. It's an Indiana truck. And the cause we undertook this time is the Indiana Donor Network, driven to save lives. So you see the truck, a lot went into this. If you look on the right, you see all the little scribbles there. That's all the winners' names are on that truck. They will be on that truck this year. So an opportunity to honor those winners. But you also see we're carrying Lucas Oil, we're carrying there, but our charity, our cause is driven to save lives. So the number I told you, 100,000, I'm a part of that 100,000. And so today's not about me, but I'm a part of that number now. So my organization, and I'll tell you a little about, I found out that I'm in life renal failure. I've reached the end of life with my kidneys and everything that go along with it. I'm one of 100,000 that need a kidney, that needs a organ transplant. By the time, every 10 minutes, that list grows. And so by the time we're done, I keep moving back, And so I learned this year. I've been fighting this forever. It's pronounced now. I was told, you got to get a transplant. So I made 3 calls. One was to my family, to my boss, and to this lady right here. When she picked the phone up, my heart melted. Sorry, but it did, because the voice of experience right here, what she's going to talk about. She's been through it. She's lived this. And where they've driven to save lives. They have a story to tell. And so this truck, as I say, is on a mission from God. And you'll see that how you can scan. Our job is to get donors, people to sign up for donors. So I wear the green to say yes to this. So this truck takes on a special thing. I can't thank Anderson Speedway enough for believing to this. Jared, this truck's going on the road tomorrow. We've made a goal to sign up 575 new people. So today she's going to talk about this. So I would hope you would all would consider this. It's going to be cool having this truck here. So I get the honor to introduce Taylor. So we had Taylor at one of our UAW events with our retirees, and it turned into church. Taylor was all but crying, and it was a very emotional thing, because at the end of the meeting, the retirees, hey, my life was saved. I got 2 new eyes. I got a lung. I got a heart. I got a kidney. My wife passed. They gave life, the gift of life. So it's very emotional, and this truck carries a message this year. And Rick, you're exactly right. We give back to the community. Where else, what other race are you going to see this around this? So I want to introduce Taylor McLean with the Indiana Donor Network, Driven to Save Lives. So.
Thank you guys for having me. My journey started a long time ago. I've been involved in racing my entire life. My brother Brian Clausen was a professional race car driver, and I remember spending literally every moment of my childhood at a racetrack. I joke that I grew up literally in the dirt, playing and doing all of that. Never did I think that I would be here today doing what I do. But in 2016, Brian was involved in a fatal racing accident. Our entire life changed from that moment, and it's something that changed the trajectory of my life in ways that I never thought it would. Brian was a registered organ donor. Our family didn't know that, and organ donation is something that I immediately became passionate about. It's something that I knew that I wanted to do and that I would have in my life forever, because Brian's one decision when he was 16 years old, when he got his driver's license, gave my family a tiny bit of hope in one of the darkest moments of our lives. He went on to save 5 lives. He gave his heart, his kidneys, his lungs, and he gave life to people. And not only did he give life to people that received his organs, but he gave life to over 7,000 race fans who have now signed up through the Driven to Save Lives program. That's over 56,000 lives that could be saved. It's incredible when I think about that, and it's really not surprising to me that the racing community has that kind of power, because in the darkest moments of my life, the people that I could turn to were those in the racing community. Those just like all of you here today, people who want to give back and want to help their brothers, their sisters in this community. And so it's an honor for me to be able to stand up here today and be able to share Brian's story with all of you and everybody that attends the Little 500 this year. But I've never had to carry the weight of somebody waiting for a transplant with me. And that's what I'm doing this year. I'm carrying the weight of Danny and 100,000 other people who are currently waiting for life-saving transplants. And that is a lot of weight to carry, but I know that there's no other group of people that I would want to do it with than those here. And Brian got the chance to, race in the Little 500, and I've gotten to be a part of many Indy 500s with Brian. And although the Indy 500 is iconic, if you've never seen those cars, and I know everybody said it, coming into turn 1 on that green flag lap, the feeling and the roar of the engines is unlike anything, even compared to the Indy 500. I've stood on the starting grid, I've done it all, and this event is so unique and something that I am so proud to be a part of. Thank you to Danny for reaching out to me that day and sharing his story with me. He says he doesn't want it to be about him, but it is about him because that's why I go to work every day. I not only go to work to continue Brian's legacy in the sport and as a human being, but I also go to work for the 100,000 people that are waiting, and Danny is one of those, so this is about him. Thank you to Jared and Rick and everybody at Anderson Speedway. I am humbled to be able to be here and work with all of you. Brian got to do a lot of really cool things in this sport, and I didn't really realize the reach that he had. Everybody remembers him as a sprint car and midget race car driver, a dirt track driver, but nobody remembers, or I guess everybody does remember, but I don't remember the times that he was racing a pavement sprint car or a pavement midget or a Kenyan midget or a stock car that he raced once. And those people have reached out to our family and just wrapped their arms around us as well. So thank you to everybody here, everybody in the racing community. I love this race, and I'm really excited to be a part of this event. And I really hope that we are able to sign up more people than ever, because this means something special to not only me, but my family, and obviously Danny as well. So thank you all for being here, and I'm really excited for the month of May.
Now at this time, it gives me great honor to introduce a great sponsor for us at the track. You see the nice trophy over there, beautiful trophy they help us with every year from the 10 Plate Fine Food and Spirits in Elwood, Indiana. Please welcome Patrick Rice.
Thank you. It's great to see everybody today. We'd just like to start by saying how excited we are to be a part of this. It's our 7th year sponsoring and our 2nd year participating as well. I'd like to thank Jared and Rick and the entire staff at Anderson Speedway, the safety crews for keeping everybody safe, everybody at MAV TV and Lucas Oil for putting this on. And we are just very, very happy to be part of this event and, really, really help push it into the future. So we appreciate everything you guys do, and those beautiful trophies right there say it all. And hopefully one day we get to take one home.
Now another cool thing we have this year, please welcome from McIntyre Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Lucas Oil Little 500 presented by UAW, David McIntyre.
Good morning. Thank you to Rick for allowing us to we do the championship rings. We've done this for 4 years now. We've actually been in business for 36 years here in Anderson. My dad was also a sponsor for Anderson Speedway. At this time, I'd like to have Rick come up to the podium, please. We've done a little change to the ring this year, since it is the 75th running of the race this year. I've actually made a ring for Rick Dawson that says the 75th running, and it says track owner on the side of it.
You ain't got nothing on me, Tyler.
Tyler, we hope you get one because it's a little different this year.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
There you go. That's pretty cool, David. Thank you.
You're welcome.
There's not too many people that have these. Taylor, I might add, I think Jared just reminded, it was 2014 when Brian sat on the pole of the race. He became a great friend, and what a legacy he has left us. So, Corey, I think it says closing comments.
Yep.
Give us your best.
So on behalf of all of us at Anderson Speedway Action Entertainment, we want to thank you for coming today, and make sure you go out to all the Little 500 Festival events, as many as you can, support those great causes, help us raise some money for the community. It's a great event, a great organization they run, a great opportunity. Some of the events able to come back this year with COVID gone. We're really excited about those. Make sure you come out to the track, see us at the racetrack this year for the 75th running of the Lucas Oil Little 500 presented by UAW. And we hope to see everybody throughout the month of May. Thank you for coming. Have a great day.